Yes, very true.
The ghost train is for kids,
said Claire,
People look pretty scared when they come out.
said Peter, trying to pull her to the world's scariest ghost train.
Come on, it'll be fun.
they are pretending.
Said Claire,
They know it's not real, so what's there to be scared of?
Okay,
Peter said as he bought a ticket for himself and the rest of the group. Maybe it was time to go home, Claire thought, but there's one thing left to do at the fair, buy a candy floss. It was impossible to finish a candy floss. They were just too big and too sweet, yet at the same time, there was nothing there. It might be possible though, she thought, as she prepared for her huge pink sugar cloud. She set herself a challenge. Tonight, she was going to eat the whole one. For that, she needed time, and that meant walking home by the train tracks instead through the town center. It wasn't very dark yet. She stepped off the dirt and onto the tracks. Each wooden sleeper was just the right distance apart, so she could step from one to another easily. Of course, Claire knew not to walk on train tracks anywhere else. It was stupid and dangerous. Only last year, some boys in the big city died playing on the tracks, but there was nothing dangerous here. No one in Fellside had any memory of a train using the railway tracks. There wasn't even a train station. The tracks suddenly finished as if the engineers ran out of wood and iron. Claire always thought of them like those cartoons where the cat tries to catch the mouse and the mouse puts down tracks in front of his speeding carriage until he runs out. The train tracks were a mystery, but an old one, and nobody wondered about it now. They were just there, and that was that. The tracks vibrated as she walked. She could feel it, and then she could hear it too. It was getting stronger and louder. She looked behind her. A round, like small but getting bigger, was coming toward her. It couldn't be a train. The wheels screamed louder against the rail as the driver slowed the train. It couldn't stop before it reached her. Luckily, Claire fell to the right, off the track. She was screaming, but she couldn't hear herself about the noisy old train. It carried past her. Empty. Where is it going? She thought. The tracks ends in a couple of miles. A man put his head out of the window of the engine and shouted.
don't you know it's dangerous on the tracks?
But there are not any trains.
Claire said, but there was clearly a train now. Whatever was true before, it's not real, she told herself.
This is not real.
She repeated out loud, but the heat coming from her engine felt real.
You can't keep walking on the tracks, so you're going to have to ride the train the rest of the way.
No!
Not scared, are you?
He said.
If it isn't real, what's there to be scared of?
He was using her own words to Peter. She couldn't stop herself climbing the metal stairs up to the train's engine, candy floss in hand.
Sit.
He said as the train slowly started moving again.
Where are we going?
Claire asked.
End of the line.
He said.
Oh, okay.
That wasn't far. The tracks ended near here. The driver said nothing. She didn't want the candy floss. It takes forever to eat a whole one, she thought. It just wasn't possible.
Uh, excuse me.
Claire shouted, because it was as noisy inside the train as outside.
How long until we get there?
As long as it takes to eat a whole candy floss.
The driver of the real ghost train said. The pink cloud in Claire's hand looked the same size as when she took her first bite.
How long is that?
She asked, but she already knew the answer. He turned to face her, except now there was no face. There was nothing under his cap at all.
Forever.
The next day, Peter visited Claire's home. When he arrived, he saw Claire's mother sit in front of the house, dropping some tears.
Excuse me, ma'am. What happened?
Peter asked.
Claire has been missing since last night.
Peter, very shocked. Then he went from Claire's home to search for her. He searched everywhere, from the carnival to the town hall, but still no sign of her. He wondered, where did she went off? Later in that day, he passed a group of old men down the street. One of the men said the last night he saw a ghost train pick up a little girl at the old train tracks. Peter, who heard what he said, went straight forward to the place, hoped to find her. The sun already went down when he arrived at the tracks. Peter found a nearby tree to get some rest. As he went on a 2 hour journey to get there, he waited and waited and waited and waited for a long time. He almost fell asleep when he saw the train come from the shadow. The train stopped after a moment. The train conductor then shouted at him.
Looking for some ride, kid? Hop in then.
Peter climbed the old metal stairs, the same stairs as Claire did. As he got in the train, he clearly heard the sound of a little girl crying, which is Claire.
Claire, are you okay?
Peter shouted at her. Peter,
Looks like it's a friend of yours, little man.
said the conductor, showing his faceless form.
You, what have you done to her?
Peter then sprinted to the conductor, wanting to attack him, but Peter's fist goes through the conductor's body. The conductor smiled, as Peter and Claire knew that they won't get out easily. Then the legend continues, as the ghost train with faceless passenger searching for new friends.
The end.
Yeah!